chat. As our next speaker, I would like to introduce Dr. Maddie. Dr. Madeline Nyamwanza from Zimbabwe is working for the LSPCA in Malawi, the Lilongwe Society for the Protection and Care of Animals. She works as a veterinary surgeon at the LSPCA clinic in Lilongwe. And Maddie is also the program manager for our program Vets United and conducts animal welfare trainings for college and university students in Malawi since 2017. Maddie and I will be doing a short interview in order to introduce her work. So Maddie, how would you describe the situation of farm animals in Malawi?
Thank you, Karin. Hello, everyone. So I would say in Malawi, we have, we could loosely divide the type of farmers into two groups, the large-scale commercial farmers and also, you know, the subsistence small-scale farmers at the village level. I think those could be the two loose divisions. And mainly people are raising cattle, goats, pigs, chickens, and to a lesser extent, they are also raising some rabbits and ducks. But we also see that when it comes to the small-scale farmers at the village level, I would say a significant number of them, they are in partnerships with international non-profit organizations that come in and give livestock, particularly chickens. Yeah, so they then take over the role of taking care of, you know, the chickens at a smaller scale level. So I would say basically that's the situation in Malawi. Yes.
And of course, when we're talking about animal welfare, we are talking about the challenges. And what are the challenges for veterinarians and for farmers in Malawi when it comes to animal welfare?
Okay, so I would really say for farmers is mainly lack of information or inadequate animal welfare knowledge. We see farmers, you know, beating their animals, not providing sufficient food, inappropriate shelter. And, you know, upon in-depth investigation, you would find that it's actually lack of knowledge or lack of animal welfare knowledge. But also another issue is lack of resources on the farmer side. They may know what needs to be done, but if the resources are not available, then they don't, you know, end up doing what's supposed to be done. And also now on the vet side, I think the major issue that we have here in Malawi is the ratio, the livestock vet ratio is very big. We have a lot of animals that need veterinary attention, but the number of vets and paravets that are available is really quite low. So you would find out that one paravet is assigned to maybe 2,000 or 3,000 households, and that translates to a whole lot of animals. So I think that pressure also is another challenge that the vets and the paravets have. And then we also have an issue of limited accessibility to veterinary drugs. Most of the drugs that we use here, they are imported from neighboring countries like Zambia, sometimes South Africa, because they do have, you know, the companies that manufacture drugs, which we don't have here. So that also is an issue as well. And then we also have another one for, you know, the lack of consistent CPD programs is one other challenge that the vets have.
And from your experience, what would be good strategies to cope with these challenges, either for the NGOs and their project partners? Which good practice did you observe? What would work?
Okay, so I would like to share my experience with the Vets United Animal Welfare Training Guide that Wendy has just presented. So from 2015, we've been working together with the university and the college. The university is offering a degree in Bachelor of Veterinary Medicine, and the college is offering a diploma in Animal Health and Livestock Production. So the Vets United project in Malawi has been centered around, educating these two groups of students, particularly when it comes to practicals, when it comes to early clinical induction. So we have a unique opportunity to take the students out into the field where we meet farmers, where we meet even, the practicing paravets. And we have found the training guide, the Vets United Animal Welfare Training Guide, to be very useful to all these groups. It is designed in such a way that it makes it easier to understand, even someone who has not gone further with their education. For example, stuff like wound management. It is explained in a very easy way, in a very practical way. So even the farmers, sometimes we would also train the farmers that we find in the field, at the same time teaching the students using the same Vets United training guide. So I would say it's one tool that we can use to try and improve animal welfare. Of course, there are some topics which are in there which are really meant for, the veterinarian. Those we can leave for the vet, but stuff like the handling, what you have just presented, Dr. Wendy, stuff like, pain management, these are things that farmers are actually doing on their own in the communities, but probably they are not doing it well. So if we educate them, then we are helping them to do it in the right way. So I think the single most important tool that we can use would be education. And the Vets United Animal Welfare Training Guide is one such tool. I think there could be many more resources, but if we center our efforts around educating the farmers, around educating the students, around educating even people that have already graduated, like continuous professional development. If I would give an example of myself, I graduated in Zimbabwe in 2013, Bachelor of Veterinary Science. Back then, I think there was not much emphasis put on animal welfare issues. We learned about wound management, we learned about pain management, we learned about handling, but that link between all these topics and animal welfare was not explicitly stated. So I think that's one thing that we may also, try to address even with people that have already graduated, to try and make this link between animal welfare and the individual veterinary related topics. I think that would work.
Mm-hmm. And with regards to farmers or NGOs, is there anything you would recommend?
Yes. So like I mentioned in the first question that you asked me about the situation in farm animals, I said that the small scale farmers, some of them, they get these livestock from international NGOs, but we find out that there is not enough training before these farmers get the animal. So we are unable to do the project in a good way, because most of the time, if you ask further, we were trained one day, and I think it's not sufficient, it's not enough for them to learn about all the animal welfare aspects of that particular animal species. So I would think for international NGOs, let's try and give our farmers adequate training before they engage in any livestock production. And then also probably to give a good follow-up system, Once we give them, we have to go back to them, continue educating them, following up to see how these animals are doing, following up to see if what they were taught is actually what they are doing. Because I find a lot of the time we sort of, start well, but then we neglect and not, continue to give the necessary support.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much, Maddie.